This Russian Easter bread known as Kulich is made in different parts of Eastern Europe as well. It's a cake-like bread, very rich, kind of sweet and really delicious. It's very often served with the Paskha, the Russian Easter cheese recipe that I posted a couple of weeks ago. Start off first by mixing your yeast with some water and a pinch of sugar. Once that yeast gets bubbly and thick, add some milk as well as some flour and give it a good mix. This is your starter dough. After this, you're going to add the remaining ingredients to it and you're going to do 3 proofs for this bread. So yes, it does require patience, but when you want to make beautiful bread, you do have to put in a little bit of effort. So first mix this together. You will get a soft kind of clumpy dough, but it's not a very wet or moist dough. It just comes together. And once it's come together, you want to cover it with a damp cloth and keep it in a cool part of your kitchen where there's no draft or strong current of wind. And you want to let it sit for about an hour. It will almost double in size. This is how you start your Kulich. Then we're going to add the remaining ingredients to it. A lot of them are ingredients like eggs, sugar, milk. These have to be beaten together. But first let us soak our raisins in rum. You can also use other dry fruits if you like. Mix all the wet ingredients together. The melted butter, the eggs, the powdered sugar as well as the milk until it's completely smooth. And this you're going to add to your bread. Now, it's not traditional to add vanilla, but I add vanilla to this because we are not used to a very eggy taste here in India. You can also add lemon if you prefer. You can add a stronger alcohol if you like. Entirely up to you. Now, pour these liquid ingredients into the dough. Add your raisins as well. Add some almond flour. This is coarse, chunky almond flour that you make in your kitchen in your food processor. As I said, very rich, very tasty bread. Now slowly start adding your flour to it, the remaining flour that you have. And on a lower speed, let the ingredients come together. Now you're going to have a pretty wet dough. This is quite hydrated. So don't be alarmed. This is how it is supposed to look. Now you're going to proof this dough one more time. Cover it again with a damp cloth. Keep it in a cool part of your kitchen and let it rise for another hour. These proofs are very important. Now if you are living in very hot climates, you may have to reduce the proofing time by about 15 minutes because things tend to rise faster in a hot climate. If you're in a very cold climate, maybe you go up to as much as 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now remember, this is not a bread that's going to have a very hard crust. It's a brioche-like bread, so it has a soft crust and a soft crumb, so you don't want to overbeat your dough either. There isn't much kneading and mixing in this at all. As you can see, it's a very sticky, wet dough. Now cover this and let it rest for a whole hour. Once it's done, you'll see the dough has risen to almost twice its size. This will be a very wet dough full of air. What I do is I just simply pour it, because it's that sticky, into the container in which I'm going to bake the Kulich. I have lightly greased this container. Now this is a very tall cake container. This was 8 inches, but it's almost 4 inches in height, because this bread traditionally is a tall bread, not a short one. But you can also make little mini versions of this bread if you have tall baking cups that are, say, maybe 4 inches in width. Now cover this again and let it rest for about 45 minutes to an hour. It will again double in size. Now once that's done, don't mess with the dough, don't take the air out of it. Bake it at 350 degrees for almost an hour and about a quarter until the dough rises, becomes golden and brown on the outside. Just look at it, it's going to be delicious. Then you make an icing for it. There are many different versions with egg, without egg. I make my icing plain without egg because I don't like raw eggs in anything. Some vanilla, some icing sugar, and you just make a very, very thick mixture because you don't want it to drip too much. You want it to stay on top. You know, some people also use marzipan, which is very nice. Drizzle this over the bread. The bread should have cooled off before you drizzle, otherwise everything is going to melt. And then decorate it with some Easter sprinkles. Serve it at room temperature. It is so yummy, you won't be able to stop eating it. Those rum-filled raisins inside. You can add dry fruits like apricots also. You can use golden raisins if you prefer. It's absolutely yum, and it makes great French toast in a couple of days.